Okay, how's it going, y'all? Rowdy Riles back with another Saturday members only stream. Today we have a very special guest, someone who I'm very happy to finally have on the channel. So I guess we're just going to bring him out because everyone's ready. We got the chat going on, and we're just going to bring Dave out.
Wow, I get a standing ovation
as
well. How about that?
Of course you do. How's it going, Dave?
It's going great. I'm really happy to be here. I've been looking forward to this.
Me too. We're happy to have you. It is I'm trying my best to get some of my icons. And I would say that you're my favorite YouTuber. I'm in almost all of your live streams. I feel bad when I miss them. So it's great to have my favorite YouTuber on the channel. I know everyone's excited. So for now, anyone who's worried about missing this, a replay squad, this is members only live. Then it's going to be for everyone. I wanted to make this special for the members so you can get some questions into Dave. And with all that being said, Dave, we're going to start it off. Tell us a little bit about yourself, first and foremost.
Okay, well, yes, I'm a YouTuber, action figure person. Hopefully, a few of you are familiar with me. I know that Rowdy just came onto the scene recently and has been blowing up, which is awesome. So there might be quite a few people who have been watching Riley and haven't seen Muggins over here yet. So I started back in 2020 because I was just looking for someone to talk to about action figures, and then displaying model behavior blew up and it became the internet juggernaut that it is today. Yeah,
the number one.
Absolutely. the number one. If you discount all the other people who are bigger than me, the number one action figure channel on YouTube, not counting everyone else. But exactly. I do it every day and it's a joy. I love it.
So with all that being said, we'll just get right into the first questions because you didn't need an introduction because your name, everyone knows you. Everyone knows how positive you are. And yes, you can be harsh on Hasbro, but you still are like, but there's someone out here that enjoys this. And that's what everyone really loves about you. They love how positive you are. And like, you're always looking at the glass half full, even when some people don't deserve it or some companies don't deserve it. So, that's just what we all see you as. And I hear that all the time. And I'm glad that other people feel that way. First question.
Nice. Yeah, shoot.
How does it feel to be home? And is there anything you're looking forward to doing that you were unable to do in Japan?
Yeah, wow, good question. Okay, so yes, I just moved back home to England from Japan, and I love being at home in England. So that means that the very first thing I got to do was go to my first Comic-Con back home. So so that allowed me to kind of get back into the zeitgeist of the action figure and comic book kind of lifestyle in the UK. Sorry, I think words are hard when I'm on someone else's channel, I guess. When I'm doing my own live streams, I have this force field around me where I'm like, I know what I'm going to talk about. And now you're putting me on the spot and I think, oh my
exactly.
goodness, I actually engage my brain. I know, right? But yeah, I love being back in the UK. It has been a transition and it's been great for focusing on my channel because the whole point of coming back was I wanted to do YouTube full time. And so far I've been able to start to do that. And it's one of those questions of taking a leap of faith because I am not at a stage where I can make a living doing this, but I figured I was never going to get there if I didn't do it full time. So therefore I'm just diving on in and we're doing this, 35 to 40 hours a week, more than that actually. But then again, I enjoy doing it. Yeah, but
it's a job, but you love it
because you enjoy it. You don't count the hours. You make the hours count. So goodness only knows how much time I spend on it, but I love doing it. And now we're going to see how it all pans out.
And we're going to get more because that's what you're going to be doing. So for the most part.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
I'm just like a great white shark of YouTube, just constantly swimming. Just constantly swimming and making content. But I mean, who doesn't want to make content about the things that we love, especially this last week. It's been a spoil of riches. So there's just all this different stuff to get excited about. So it's a good time to be a collector.
Absolutely. And being in Japan, I know there's a lot of stuff over there that you could get, but there's also a lot of stuff that you couldn't get. Like it was harder to get Marvel Legends because they're imported to there, but you had SH Figure Arts and all this other stuff galore. Was there anything you found there that you were just like, I'm so hyped to be in Japan and to be able to get this that you don't see in the UK?
Well, considering how great we have it these days with everything is importable online, there's very few things that you can't get at all, but you do get exposed to new and different things that you wouldn't necessarily see so often. So, of course, it's a great place to be for your Japanese brands, like you were saying, Mafex, Revoltech, Figure Arts. That's terrific. But then it's so funny how the secondhand market kind of works. Things that maybe might have come and gone in the Western world took so much longer to find their way over to Japan that you find stuff that's much more common, like Toy Biz figures in some secondhand stores. You think, how on earth did these Toy Biz figures from 25 years ago find their way into a secondhand store in Japan? But they do.
That is kind of crazy. It's crazy.
They just take a long time. They go through different hands, and goodness only knows. I found a whole bunch of 1998 WCW figures before I left. I was like, how did Diamond Dallas Page? That's all right. How did DDP end up in a charity store in Osaka? It's so weird. But that's where you find these real fun gems.
They're new to someone, you know, that's the thing. Someone had never seen that before. And that's the great thing about toys. We did have a member question really quick. Just because that's why I wanted to bring them in to include them. What was it like living in Japan? He'd like to visit during Sakura season. Action Figure Addict 112. He's a friend of the channel, so.
Yeah, 100%. If you have the ability to go traveling and you want to see the world, Japan, I would put the highest recommendation on. I love Japan, absolutely. And it was very lucky for me. I was getting to do a fun job. So a lot of people ask, oh, I'd love to live in Japan. What's it like working and living in Japan? And the answer is always from me, I can't really tell you because it's a job that I was doing that's not like a proper adult's job. I was living and working essentially in a theme park. Everything was kind of taken care of for me. And I knew that people who go over to Japan to, teach English and things like that, it's much more hard work. And so I really was very, very lucky. I was very lucky to be in the position that I was. But just going over to enjoy it as a holiday, oh my goodness, 100%.
I'm sure it's very different.
Oh yeah,
than anywhere.
Yeah, completely. But Japanese people are just some of the loveliest, most welcoming people. One thing I've found so much about the Japanese kind of personality in general, you have nice people and unpleasant people everywhere in the world. But generally, Japanese people are so proud of their country and they're so considerate of how people find their country that they want to make sure that you are having a good experience. So if you speak to a Japanese person, generally, they will want to ensure that this interaction has been a great positive interaction for you. And people will talk to you and they'll ask, how are you enjoying Japan? Are you enjoying your stay here? And it's just really kind of lovely. It's hard to leave sometimes.
That's cool. See, when I visited Ireland, it was like that. Everyone was very kind, very welcoming. They wanted to know how you were, where you were from, what you were doing there, all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure it's the same kind of vibe where they're just like, hey, we're happy to see you. We're happy to have you here. Well, what's going on? So I do understand that mentality in people, and it's nice to see because not every place is like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, Japan's great like that.
Yeah. All right. So next question. This one is going way back. So what is your earliest childhood memory of getting a toy and realizing that little plastic people was what made you happy?
You're right. Little plastic people is exactly what makes me happy. Man, well, that's the thing. Every kid grows up with action figures. That's always been the case to an extent, So being a child of the 80s, I always grew up with He-Man and Transformers and Thundercats. And I don't think I was any more into them than anyone else was. You're all kids, you all have your action figure collections, and I enjoyed playing with them just as much as anyone. And certainly when I was growing up, then you start playing with video games, and I was reading comic books, and action figures didn't really feature quite so prominently. Also because action figures in the early 90s weren't that great. They were made for kids. You're not a kid anymore. you're not that into them. So, you know, the stuff that was coming out from Toy Biz in the Marvel lines and whatnot, and even the Star Wars lines from Kenner, they weren't great, you know, so they weren't really very appealing. So really, it was McFarlane as
wow.
much as we joke about McFarlane these days, you know, they really were trailblazers. McFarlane were trailblazers, and so the second or third wave of McFarlane figures really kind of captured your attention and your imagination. So this is probably around about 1998, give or take. And I think some of the first action figures I got were probably a couple of Spawn ones. I remember I got the Spawn the Dark Ages Spawn action figure, and that was just absolutely phenomenal. That was one of the first action figures I saw and was like, whoa, that's not a toy. That's an action figure collectible. And we were off to the races from there.
Yeah, and I know I give McFarlane a lot of crap, but I do agree that without the early 90s Todd McFarlane Spawn toys and all that stuff, we wouldn't have the collectible action figure market that we do today. It would be a lot different. It would probably be a lot less adult oriented. So I definitely give Todd credit for that.
Yes, absolutely. I think maybe a difficulty of his was he was a trailblazer, but then didn't move with the times as much as other action figure manufacturers did. He kind of stayed a bit more rigid, stuck in his ways with certain articulation methods and certain sizes and whatnot. He probably could have done a lot better, or not, but I think he could have done a lot better if he had acquiesced to some people's demands and done things more in line with
a little bit
and Hasbro. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just take some constructive criticism, man. Just a little bit.
Yeah, he does seem very stubborn. But then again, when you're the creator of one of the biggest comic book and action figure franchises in the world, just going to give you a little bit of arrogance, you know?
Yeah, and you're probably going to surround yourself with a bunch of yes men too. You're going to be like, well, you say yes to me all the time, so we're going to have you here. We're going to have you. So, you know.
Good idea, boss.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so pivoting a little bit from toys and all that stuff. So you've dabbled in some wrestling. So
I was wondering where that sentence was about to go. You've dabbled in.
You dabbled in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's talk
I don't know. I tried to do my research, but I wasn't trying to dig too deep. You know, I wasn't trying to find anything I shouldn't find. But you know, you put that out there. You had your last match recently, quote unquote. Hopefully not. Hopefully you decide to get back in the ring at some point. But first part of this multi-layered question: in another life, could you have seen yourself going through a professional wrestling career? Maybe going somewhere with that, like hopefully with the hopes of attaining, you know, AEW, WWE status, something like that. Could you have seen yourself doing that in another life?
Oh, absolutely. But also it's a tough one. I would always kind of think to myself, oh, you know what? If I had come along 10 years later, it would have been such a better system. Things would have been so much better in the UK. There would have been a much clearer path to WWE or AEW. You know, I was too soon. I was there too soon. But I was also there at the exact same time as guys like Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Zack Sabre Jr., to name but a few. And all of those guys managed to transition from the UK to the big leagues. So it's very lazy to say, it was the wrong time. No, it was a fact. It was a number of things. It was a bad time, but it wasn't impossible. I allowed myself to get, first of all, I allowed myself to get sidetracked with, you know, relationships and life and other things that took me away from it. And also maybe I'll be the first to admit, maybe I just wasn't that good. You know, I was decent. Don't get me wrong, I was decent. You know, a big problem for me though was that. You're asking Action Figure Addict Will Ospreay. I never worked with Will Ospreay. He came along after I had stopped wrestling. But a big problem for me was that my memory is terrible, especially under pressure. So if you nowadays people plan out an entire match move by move by move by move. So if you come to me and tell me 20 to 30 different moves and spots that we're going to do in a match, I'm not going to remember that. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I was taught by Jake the Snake Roberts, who came up obviously in the 70s and the 80s, where you don't plan anything. In fact, I remember one time where
Wow.
I had a match with another trainee of mine, and he chewed us out in front of everyone because we had all these rehearsed spots. Because it was the early 2000s, and we'd been watching Ring of Honor and AJ Styles, and we wanted to be those guys. And so we did the whole match, which was like 20 minutes. And then he just sat there stone-faced with his arms crossed and said, "Do it again." And then he did it again. And of course, it was the exact same match again. And then he was like, "Do it again." And we did it again. And it was the exact same match. And he was like, he just said, I'm so bored, because I knew that was all just a dance routine you were doing. And look at it. And it's like, I'm not going to use the language he used, but it wasn't kind. And I was like, okay, well, that's great, because I can't remember moves. So I was trained to call it on the fly, as they say, call it in the ring. But people don't call it in the ring anymore. And that's fine, because the business evolves. If everyone just called it in the ring, wrestling wouldn't be that exciting. You're not going to have Kenny Omega and Okada having amazing matches. Yeah. So I was of a different era. I say that I was 10 years too late, or arguably I was 20 years. Sorry, I was 10 years too early. I was actually maybe 10 to 20 years too late. I think if I came along in the 70s and the 80s, I could have had a much better run, because it was just basic wrestling. Well, there you go. But I would have been a famous wrestler. You see, that's one thing. I think that I want to be. I'm not saying I am, but I want to be like Muhammad Ali. And I don't mean the world's best boxer, but there's a quote from Muhammad Ali that I absolutely love, which someone asked him, if you weren't the greatest boxer in the world, what would you be doing? And he said, whatever I'd be doing, I'd be the greatest. If I wasn't the world's greatest boxer, I might be the world's greatest plumber, or I might be the world's greatest garbage man. And I'd go out there every morning and I'd throw that garbage into the truck better than anybody else does in the world. I'd clean up the streets faster than anybody else. I'd be the greatest. So it just so happens that today I'm the greatest YouTuber in the world, according to one guy, me. And that's all that matters. And my mom.
To me, you are. But we've got another great in the chat. We've got Articulated Ninja here, one of my channel members. It's nice to see Rowdy and Dave together on a nice Saturday stream. Rowdy, if I ever get Dave to my convention, you got to come see him so we can all finally have a pic together. Absolutely. That's doable. You're in my
that
crossover.
That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. I was talking to Ninja about the convention and how, you know, if I get this job in Japan for the summer, I won't be able to do it. So I can't commit to it. And it's crazy that I kind of don't want to get this awesome job that's going to pay me well, because I'm like, then the decision is made for me.
You go, I'm going. It's like, go, I'm going. So there you go.
That's a guarantee. So I'm obviously I need the job because I need the money. We're all human beings. We gotta pay the bills. But
you gotta get more super chats and channel members.
Yeah, I mean, would it kill you guys to give Riley some super chats? Come on here, what's the matter with you?
No, you can do that.
I'm gonna have to grab you by the ankles and start shaking you. Take the fillings in your teeth. Well,
I do have a super chat thing here. I said 5, and Dave will feed Godzilla. So if we get 5 super chats during this, Dave will feed Godzilla. But
I got Godzilla waiting for me.
Y'all need to go over and pay for him to come to Ninja's Con so that I can go to Ninja's Con as well. That's what I'm saying.
So I'm hoping the decision is taken out of my hands. If they say I'm sorry, Dave, you haven't got the job, I'll be like, well, I guess I'm going to Ninja Con then.
Ninja's essentially being forced to go to DFW. He just on his birthday stream, he had a essentially forced to do a DFW fundraiser. So he almost got completely funded to go to it there. So that's what you got to do. Fund my trip to America, even though it sucks there. All right, so back to the questions, because we got off on a fun tangent. Back to the nitty gritty here. Where are your matches? Can we see them anywhere? Like, is there something that you have like archived? Are you working on anything to show us this stuff?
I honestly, because it was a real difficult transition actually for me to leave wrestling. I actually scoured the internet and deleted all of my old matches. I didn't
Oh
want
no.
anyone going out and finding them. I didn't. Because I mean, honestly, there was nothing spectacular. Because also, I was wrestling back in the days where people didn't have like smartphones and stuff. I mean, towards the latter half we did, but also it's kind of funny. Even when it was easier to film your matches, wrestling still wasn't quite the open shop that it was, and people would be like, "Oh, you're filming your match? Or what are you, a mark?" Like, you know, I was like, "Oh, I want to film my match." Nowadays, it's like, of course you're going to film your match. You got to watch it back and learn from it. But you know, it was awkward. And of course, for 10 years before that, no, people had like camcorders that you hold by your head and record on VHS tape. So
that makes
it really
sense.
wasn't practical. So a lot of my matches, you know, they're on VHS tape in some landfill somewhere. But I did record my final match that I had in Japan. So that will be going up online at some point. I'm going to record some commentary with a friend of mine, and I'm just going to put a little nice bit of production on it. So that will be put up on the channel eventually, and that will be soon, but not yet.
That'll be really cool. I'm excited to see that because I saw the clip or two you posted on. I think it was just a picture you posted on your Instagram story, but I was like, you better post this video soon because I want to see Dave kicking some butt.
I will. I promise. It was good fun. It wasn't a long match. It was 10 minutes, give or take. But also that's why I don't think I am going to have any more matches, because you know what? It was perfect. It was just, it wasn't spectacular, but it was safe. I did the match. I didn't get hurt. More importantly, I didn't hurt anyone, and the crowd was great. And I was like, you know what? It's not going to get better than that. So I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
Don't be like those other wrestlers who retire and then come back 15 times. You know, just be like, I'm done, but I'm going to be back next year for a pay-per-view. Don't worry.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I'm not going to be the Terry Funk or Mick Foley or you know, anyone like that.
Oh. So Jake the Snake Roberts trained you. That's crazy. Did you rub elbows with any other like big time of that era wrestlers? Like,
funnily enough, I didn't really meet anyone else from Jake's era, because we were in the UK at the time, so there was no one else around there. I just met Jake when I was about 20 and I was at university, and there was a pro wrestling show in Southampton, and he was on it, and I thought, that's crazy. Jake the Snake is on this little wrestling show in Southampton. So I went there, and afterwards I was like, you know what, I'm going to hang out. I'm going to see if I can meet him, get a photo with him, and I did. And he said, oh hey, you're a big guy, you should wrestle. And I was like, well, duh, of course I want to wrestle. But where am I going to do that? And he was like, oh, I got this training school in Kent. And I was like, well, boom, all right, let's do this.
That's awesome.
And actually, I saw someone asked if I know the Knight family, Ricky Knight, Ryan Knight. Yeah, I had my first match for Ricky Knight's promotion. So I know the Knight family very well. I used to wrestle. I used to wrestle against Ricky Knight more times than I can remember, along with his son Zach and Roy. I've been on many road trips with the whole family, and Saraya as well. I knew Saraya when she was just like a little kid. But yeah, that was a funny story from my first ever match. I wasn't planning to have a match. I was just driving for Jake. So I was driving Jake to a show that the Knight family were doing, the World Association of Wrestling. And so when we get there, first of all, the Knight family couldn't have been nicer. They were great. We got to the house first. He was very welcoming. They were fantastic. And when we got to the venue, he said, oh, we're having a rumble at the end. Does your trainee want to be in the rumble? And Jake was like, oh yeah, he'll do it. And I was like, oh, well, okay, I guess I'm going to be in the rumble.
If Jake says you're going to do it, you're going to do it.
And the funny thing was, the rumble is always at the very end of the show. So Jake was in the penultimate match. I don't know who he was wrestling. It might have been Ricky Knight, but they're in the penultimate match. And before Jake goes out, he sees me getting ready, and I'm wearing this white tank top, and he's like, "You're going to take that off, aren't you?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm going to keep it on." I felt a little self-conscious. I was trying to bulk up at the time, so I was a little bit soft and fluffy. I was like, "No, take the top off. It looks bad. You got to take it off." I was like, "I'm going to keep it on. Thanks, Jake." And Jake goes out for his match, and he bleeds a gusher, just a classic crimson mask of it, like a stone cold Steve Austin level blade job he does. And then when he walks to the back afterwards, he walks straight up to me in my white tank top and goes, oh,
blood all over it.
That's better. So like the Turin Shroud, I had Jake's face in blood on my t-shirt. I was like,
that's crazy.
I guess I'm not going to wear this t-shirt now, am I? So there you go. So I took my t-shirt off.
That's a great story.
That was the first match there. It was good.
And we do have a super chat, but let me see what, because Stone Capybara joined specifically to see this stream. So they said you have a very adventurous life, so you sound like a real go-getter, and we all know that's very true. And we have a super chat from everyone's favorite Ray Farr.
Ray.
Dave, good brother. Rowdy, good sister. What a jam-packed live. Hope you both are good. We are doing well, and you get a super chat clip. So let me get one of the new ones, because I did get some new ones.
You got clips?
And they're funny. Yeah, I have clips, Dave. You're behind the times. You gotta get clips.
I have to pick your brains, because I don't know how to do any of this stuff. So I'll let you teach me later.
Here we go. Here's a new one for everybody.
You have 3 nights. This counts as the first. That would make me gone.
I'm sorry, Dave.
What did I just watch?
You'll get used to it. All my clips are just the randomest shit. But Ray, thank you very much. If y'all want to see some more new stuff, just make sure to hit a super chat. If you haven't seen,
was that Wishma stuff?
It was Nosferatu, but it was redubbed.
I was pretty sure it was redubbed.
Crazy style. See, the chat enjoys it. They know what they're signing up for. You did not quite know what to expect. All right, next question. To pivot from that craziness, what is the thing that you enjoy most about YouTube, other than your community? Because that's just an easy out.
You got me. You knew I was going to say the community, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because everybody says that. I would say that.
Oh, okay. No, that's tough. That's tough. Okay, if not the community, then oh boy. I tell you what. First of all, there's actually genuinely. Hand on heart, there's nothing that I don't like about this. Whether it's filming videos, editing videos, the community, everything. There's nothing that I roll my eyes at about YouTubing. Now that I'm trying to do it full time, the logistical side of like accounts and stuff, and like being self-employed. That's a thing in its own right, but that's comes with anyone who's self-employed. So if I have to say, like, what is the thing that I really enjoy that's not the community, you little bugger, you had to make it difficult, didn't you? I think honestly, with me, God, you know what? I hate to say it, but it's not doing. It's not a vanity thing. I don't think this is getting a little bit more introspective, but it's doing something that I feel matters, and that's really grandiose to say. I'm making YouTube videos about toys, but every time that I tried to have a normal job, and believe me, I have tried so hard to have normal jobs. I have ground away trying to do office jobs and this and that, and the whole time I'm like, why am I doing it? Why do I have to get this account sheet to corporate before 4 p.m. so someone else can make more money? Like I hated it. Whereas I feel like what I'm doing is actually it's making people happy. It's not changing lives. I'm not curing cancer, but just people enjoy what I do. And if I just give someone a little bit of dopamine, I'm like, yes, that freaking matters, man. That makes me feel happy. So
it's a good feeling. And I want to say, like, personally, of course, I'm your channel gremlin because I'm always in your chats. Just
you
being
are the channel gremlin. Yeah.
But that's because I genuinely enjoy interacting with you and also your community, because yes, it does go without saying that community is one of the most important parts of having a YouTube channel. And you have one of the best communities. I didn't want to give you that easy out, but I will totally, blow smoke for your community, because half of my viewers came from your channel and they are regulars. They're in my stream, Titular Heroines here, Matt with 2 T's is here, Ray Farr is here, we've got Stone Copy Bar. You know, there's a lot of cross-pollination, and that's another big
100%.
important part about YouTube is spreading the love and supporting people that you genuinely think their content matters, and your content matters to you.
All the good brothers and sisters you just listed there, like that's not my community, that's not your community. It's us. We are the community.
Everybody, yeah. We're all part of one big family, essentially. You know, sometimes we fight, sometimes we argue, but
true.
You know, and I did have a second part to that question. What makes it difficult to be a YouTuber as a bigger creator?
Oh, okay. Genuinely, first of all, and like truth be told, and hand on heart, I do not look, and I don't know if you do either, but I do not look at the YouTube hidden messages section anymore. Because for those who don't know, YouTube has an algorithm which is very clever, and it will hide messages that it flags as being abusive, cruel, unkind, whatever, if it contains certain language. And occasionally, well, before I can't help it. You know, it's like looking under a rock. You can't help yourself. But I would look at that. But genuinely, like, you can hurt my feelings real bad, like so easily. So eventually, like the best and the healthiest thing I did was just visually, mentally, that button does not exist. The view hidden messages, it doesn't exist. I mainly used to look at it because sometimes messages get flagged by mistake, and I don't want people to feel like they're being ignored.
And it's usually not a mistake. It's usually not.
Usually it's some real vile stuff that's
horrid stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like, ow. It's like, I know I'm a good person, and I know that my face doesn't look like that person is telling me it does, but still. So, but the thing is, because YouTube, God bless them, do have that function, I don't have to worry about that. So that being put to one side now, thank God, because I don't lift up that rock anymore. The hardest part is that you never switch off. Like, I am always working, or I am always feeling like I should work, because if I'm not filming, I'm editing. And the thing is, as soon as I finish a video and publish it, I'm like, okay, we got to start working on the next one. We got to keep it rolling. It's lucky for me.
You do a lot. You move fast.
Well, that's the thing. If I know that I'm trying to base my entire life and my entire career and my entire future on making YouTube work. So if it doesn't, I never want to be able to look back and go, if only I'd tried harder. You know, if only I'd tried harder. And so that's never going to be a problem. If this doesn't work out for me, then it's fine. Like, okay, your videos weren't that great. You weren't that engaging. You didn't monetize it enough. That's fine.
Not
I
you.
can live with that.
It's not you, Dave.
No one, thank you. But no one can say you didn't try hard enough, because Lord knows that is the case. But it does mean that, like, I used to play video games. I love playing video games. There was a thick layer of dust on my PlayStation, because anytime I sat down to like relax, my brain was just going, yeah, I should be working. You know what? There are other people out there on YouTube land, and they're making videos. What are you doing? You sat there playing Pac-Man again, and that game's 50 years old. Start making videos.
Yeah, I get it. Like, Oblivion, the remaster, sucked me in for a couple days, and then I was like, I have stuff I have to do. I have Maximum Hope coming. I have videos, because now with everything prices up in the air, I'm not buying as many figures. I'm cutting way back. So I'm going back in my collection, finding stuff I haven't talked about and doing that. So I'm slacking. I've been busy. I've been like, Dave's coming on. I'm going to ride on the coattails of this for a while. I don't need to do anything. You know,
I'm going to dine on this for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. I made my Maximum Hulk video, and then Dave's coming on the same week. I think that's a pretty good week for me, but you know, but yeah, I definitely, and I hope I never get to the point you're at, simply so that I don't have to deal with as much crap as you do. But thankfully, most of it's hidden from the comments, because the 5 or 6 that I get on a month-to-month basis can probably be nothing compared to the mountain of crap that you get when it comes to.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
And it's never constructive criticism. You know, it's always personal attacks. So that's how you know it's not something you said or did. It's just that person, you know. So don't ever take it personal, Dave, because you, like I said, you're a lot of people's favorite toy YouTuber or just general YouTuber in general. You know, I feel bad when I miss your streams because I'm like, I missed out. I missed out on something.
That means the world. It really does.
So let's keep going with the questions because we got plenty.
I'm having a good time. This is fun. This is great.
I am too. I'm really glad that this is going well. So someone asked this and I put it off because I had it on my list, but I forget who asked it, but shout out to the chat. What is something that you miss the most about Japan right now? Like, is there anything you're missing that you don't have? Food wise, whatever.
The money. No. Yeah, but no, genuinely, I had a great bunch of friends in Japan. I was very, very lucky. I'm always, it's funny. I have that great typical kind of like, I am the classic introverted extrovert. You know, I want friends, I want community, but I don't like doing the things you got to do to have friends and community because it's mentally a lot of hard work. But in Japan, I had just a great bunch of very, very close friends, and it was as nerdy and dorky as it was. We referred to ourselves as the Wolf Pack because we were a bunch of wolves, baby. We were just this group of 30 to 40-year-old dudes who were just living this crazy, ridiculous sort of abstract life, and we all just kind of came together. And I love that. And we're still in touch all the time. And that's one of the reasons I want to go back to Japan for this summer job, is to reconnect with them. Because coming back to England is wonderful that I'm here with the family. And there are a couple of friends that I'm very close to. And I get to see again, like Dom, who's been on my channel. And we've done the live streams together. That's wonderful. But having that everyday community, like that's something that real great in person. So that was lovely. But you know what? I can start to build that again when I find my forever home, or at least temporary forever home.
Yeah, no, I get it. And speaking of Japan, so you worked at the Universal Studios Japan, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So what was that like? Was that, I know you said on a stream that you were recognized a few times, so we'll not talk about that till later. But what did you do there? What were some of the things that you did? What was your favorite thing that you did? You know, I want to know about Dave. We know about toys, so we want to know about you.
Do. Okay, yeah. Japan Universal Studios. It was a dream come true as far as jobs are concerned. So I was originally brought over there to do 2 shows: the Terminator stunt show they do, the Terminator 2 show, and to be a wand keeper in Ollivander's wand shop in Harry Potter World. So 2 very, very diverse jobs. Originally, I was just brought in to do the wand shop, but they knew that I had a stunt background and that I was physically capable, so they eventually put me in Terminator as well. But it was such good fun, and they used me in various different roles when they were filming commercials, when they had special events. So you do parades, and when it was Halloween Horror Night, they would get you to be dressed up as a zombie and film commercials for that. It was always different stuff going on. But just having that job and living in that lifestyle was just, it was the best. And it was the first time, probably as far as a career is concerned, where I felt like, okay, this is a job where I feel like I'm being the most authentic to myself. I'm not having to mask who I am or play the role of business person. I'm like, no, I'm Dave. I'm a performer. I'm being paid to perform. That's what we're doing. It was great.
That's awesome. And then you get to go home and talk about toys. So you were like living the life in Japan, and your live stream timing was right in that sweet spot. It was perfect for almost, and speaking of live streams, I know you said you're going back to daily streams soon, and we had titular heroine CJ asking, what time are your streams going to be, or is it just going to be whenever you get to?
I wish I could make them more regular, and I will I want to try to do that, because also just from a very business economic side of things, because like I spend my life reading on, not reading because I'm all intellectual, but reading because I want to see what is the algorithm like, what are people like, how do you build these things in a business sense. And it is consistency, same time, same place, people know. And that's not what I've been doing, because I don't have that schedule, so I'm all over the place. It's scattershot. Yeah, so I would love to be able to do the same time, same place. I'm trying to mainly do my live streams kind of in the afternoon for me. It's like 2 o'clock UK time, sort of 9-10 a.m. in the US, but it's a little bit slapdash, and it will be for a while. So I'm trying my best, but one day I'll figure it out.
And it's okay. We totally understand. Like I said, I didn't bug you about coming on here for the first 2 months or so that you got back, because I was like, he's busy. I'm not going to bug him whatsoever. I'm going to let him do him. But then it gets to a certain
I would have.
point.
You know, if you asked me the day I got back.
Yeah. And I'm glad I asked you when I did, because I know you said that, you have certain things happening next month. So I was like, well, I'm glad I asked when I asked, because then I would have had to wait another month, and I would have been very, very sad panda about that. And AFA has another question. They have Evangelion and Monster Hunter at their Universal Studios in Japan, right?
They do. And Kaiju Kitty asked what role I played in Terminator. And I was Arnold. I was the T-800. Because you can't tell like on YouTube, but I'm a big dude. I'm 6'3" give or take. And back when I was doing the Terminator show, I was a hell of a lot bigger. I'm a lot skinnier than I am now. I wouldn't say I was jacked, but I was in good shape. Also, just wearing the costume and the jacket,
right?
Yeah,
you're going for huge man. Yeah,
that's it. So yeah, I looked the part of Arnold when I was doing the show, but also Evangelion and all of those shows. USJ, Universal Studios Japan, has those normally seasonally. So they'll have ones that are there for maybe 6 months to a year, and then they replace them with a new show.
Oh, that's cool. It sounds like you had a fun job. Your job was not work, and then you come home and do more fun stuff, because YouTube is fun if you really enjoy it. And speaking of things that I enjoy, segue, Stone Capybara. I'm so poor. Don't judge me. Well, guess what? Guess what I'm going to take from you, because I got another clip for y'all. I'm sorry.
I love that movie, Hot Rod. That's so great.
Movies. I love that movie. Thank you so much, Stone.
I love the scene at the end where they're marching through the street, and it's so inspirational. The music's playing is wonderful, and then it just erupts into a riot.
What the heck is going on?
Yeah, it's like that went south so fast.
I love that movie so much. Oh my God! Thank you very much, Stone Capybara. I can't talk because I was laughing. Oh, I love Hot Rod so much. I'm glad that everyone here has good taste, because Hot Rod is definitely a top 10 movie for me. Top 5 comedies. When I was just sawing with my bandsaw, a piece broke off and hit me in the eye. Ah! I need that clip.
Anything with Danny McBride, like I got time for.
And Andy Samberg, Lonely Island stuff too is just
Lonely Island is beautiful. I love Lonely Island.
I'm glad I picked this stream to debut that clip, because I do have another one. So if we get another super chat, we'll get another Hot Rod clip. So there you go. All right, we've got more questions. Getting into favorite characters, because you and I share a favorite character, Spider-Man.
Yes.
Well, he is your favorite, right? Is it Ben Reilly or Peter Parker? Is your favorite?
That's it. If we're going deep, it's Ben Reilly. But
Reilly.
If the average Joe on the street asks you who your favorite character is, then of course it's Spider-Man. I'm not going to tell them the tale of Ben Reilly, but yes, it's Spider-Man in general. Absolutely.
Okay, so I had to preface the question with is it Ben Reilly? Because what is your favorite Spider-Man story that is not the Clone Saga?
Good question. Actually, that is a very easy one, but I'll give you two, because one is very sort of Clone Saga adjacent, just because it's a very similar time, and that is the DC crossover Batman Spider-Man Disordered Minds, which is a fantastic one shot, and it's I think it was 1995, so it came out right when the Clone Saga I think was kicking off, but of course it's kind of in its own reality, because it's Marvel and DC, so Peter Parker is Spider-Man and that's all it is, but it's phenomenal, because it's just a one-shot story. I think it's maybe 48 pages, and it's essentially Spider-Man and Batman versus the Joker and Carnage, and is just it's phenomenal. And it's written by J.M. DeMatteis, who's one of my favorite writers, and I love back in the old days, and I hope they recreate that with these new crossovers that they do. This is obviously taking place in a different universe to the 616, where just DC and Marvel are the same universe. So Gotham is just, you know, on the other side of the river from Marvel's Manhattan. And, you know, Batman references the Maximum Carnage incident and, like, you know, he wasn't there for that all that kind of thing.
That's really
like,
cool.
Dude, that's so cool. And you see like how Joker and Carnage interact, and like they actually don't, spoiler, they don't get along. Like it doesn't work.
They wouldn't get along because Joker likes controlled chaos. Carnage just wants absolute pure chaos. So they're a little bit different.
That's exactly what it is. So that's a huge one. That's probably my favorite single issue comic, maybe.
Interesting.
My other favorite Spider-Man story was actually a really recent one, which I thought was excellent. Which was I forget what it's actually called now.
Life Story?
Is it? There you go. That was it. Life Story. Yeah, I thought that was so well done, so clever.
It's a very good book.
Yeah, because I always thought to myself, it would be so cool if you had a comic that was running in real time. So we get to see that, and it plays out. I wouldn't say how you expect, but it's sad, it's poignant, but it's not sugary. Like you can tell, like it's an earnest story. They're not trying to be saccharine and just like going for the jugular as far as that's concerned. They just tell a good story, and it works. Yeah, so I love Life Story. Fantastic.
Any Spider-Man story that makes me cry by the end is going on my list of favorites. Like I love Spider-Man. Some people don't understand how much I love Spider-Man, but if you watch my channel enough, you will understand how much I love Spider-Man. Pivot real quick, because I did want to talk about another Spider-Man comic that's currently going out really quick while we were talking about that. We have another super chat from Codeman, Cody Walls, Rowdy. He's doing a super emoji. I can't see it. One of my membership emojis, but StreamYard doesn't show it, but YouTube is showing it. $2. Thank you very much. We get another Hot Rod clip. So where is it? Every time? And another super chat. Matt with 2 T's. Keep them coming, y'all. I won't complain. Batman and Spider-Man in a couple months. Yes, please. Yeah, that would be cool. But we do have Batman and Deadpool coming. So let me see what else I have really quick. Thank you, Matt with 2 T's. We appreciate the $5 over here at the Rowdy Riles channel. Let me see what he got here. Sorry, I'm looking for something good.
Last one there's the penis pump.
That's no fair. You're not
Holy cow, I'm totally going so fast. Oh, fuck!
Punk.
Oh my god, I don't know what to do. What do we do?
Hey, what the fuck are you kids doing on my fucking lawn? And don't look at me when I'm fucking talking to you.
Help
Get that
me,
kid off my
help.
eyes, you little wankers. Alright, give him the stick. Don't give him the stick.
Do you know my dad?
Oh, G.I. Joe.
Yes, thank you, Matt with 2 T's. The only reason I know G.I. Joe is from those Fernster PSAs, so shout out to those. Oh, goodness. All right, so back to Spider-Man. Have you checked out Spider-Man versus Predator?
Not yet, because I am cheap and I'm waiting for it to arrive on Marvel Unlimited. Because otherwise, why the heck else am I paying my $8 a month? But
I was going to ask you if it's good because the same reason, but I've seen pictures and it looks crazy.
I love the fact that Predator is under, well, Aliens and Predator is under the Disney umbrella. I know that the whole idea of more and more corporations buying up the same things, monopolies, is not a good thing. But at the same time, it means I get to see Spider-Man fight the Predator. So it's a double-edged sword, really.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel. Well, so, I think we just hit our goal here.
Oh,
but yeah, I need to. So you're gonna have to break out the Godzilla, Dave.
I'm going to break out the Godzilla, just like I was saying on my live stream. No one panic. I am wearing shorts. Don't worry.
I should have warned you to hopefully have Godzilla ready. Carl Spicegood with the $10 super chat. Thank you very much. Always love seeing you in the chats. Very good to see you, and I very much appreciate the $10 super chat. And so does Godzilla, because Godzilla's hungry.
Holy cheese and crackers! $10? Oh my goodness!
What can I say? You bring out the big bucks, Dave.
Carl, you generous son of a biscuit. Well, this is for everyone who's very kindly donated. Godzilla, he appreciates it because you know what? He dines on everyone's super chats, not just mine. So you got the big guy over here.
We got to see Godzilla on Rowdy Riles stream. My life is complete. Thank you for that, Dave. I love it. And thank you, channel members, because you didn't have to do any super chats because you're members. You're already paying to be here. But now when everyone's seeing this stream on the replay, they're like, dang, I missed out on a good time.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll want to join in the members stream next time. You know, that's the hope here.
Actually, you did ask me what one of my least favorite things was, and this is more of like an irritation than anything else, because it is kind of petty and silly. But I mean, you just kind of said yourself, normally I'm not one to toot my own horn, but in the words of Arn Anderson, toot toot. I work harder than anyone else on YouTube, and I'm not saying my work is better. I'm just saying I work harder, which isn't true. I'm sure people work every bit as much as I do. But then I will do one members only thing, and all I get is, oh, look at Dave putting this behind a paywall. Oh, he thinks he's too good for everyone now. Oh, now you have to pay for it. Unsubscribe. And I'm like, I say, bitch, I do everything for free. Every single day you get a free video from me. And I do one thing as a thank you to the people who are helping the channel. Oh, unsubscribe. He's only in it for the money. He just wants to get rich from YouTube. First of all, if I wanted to get rich, I would not be doing YouTube. But man, it shouldn't. But to use a very British expression, if you don't mind me doing so, it boils my piss when I get that.
I'm going to use that from now on.
Please do. I mean, you were saying I'm like the most positive person on YouTube, but oh my God, I if that person was there in front of me, I would murder them.
Feel free to let out the negativity in here. This is technically the Rowdy Rants members live stream where I go off.
Oh, there you go.
So feel free to go off, you know?
I'm like, I can't give until it hurts, guys. Like literally.
Yeah. And I'm being nice because I'm going to make this for everyone afterwards, because you know I definitely wanted to make this a very like close knit. I don't have moderators, so I know my channel members ain't gonna come in here and cause some stuff. So afterwards, I can take care of all that stuff. But this is a lot of fun, and we have a couple more questions. I know we're coming up to an hour, but I hope I'm not stepping on your toes.
I'm having a blast. This is
me
great.
too. This is awesome. It's been a long time coming. I've been watching I'm not watching your channel. I've been watching your channel for years, but I've been watching your live stream since December. That's when I officially like jumped in, and I jumped in on your members holiday video, and I wasn't, I didn't know how I felt about the community because I just got there, but like coming in there, there's a reason I come back when you stream every day.
I remember, my first time kind of, really knowing you was the Christmas special. And I was like, oh, hey, who's this? And then the rest is history.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm at least a little bit memorable because, I was slowly plugged in, without you, I don't think I would have, we're coming up on 3,500. So I'm about to give away that retro carded Venom. And I don't think I'd be anywhere close to that without you tolerating me plugging myself on your channel constantly. But hey, everyone is benefiting from it because we have this. I have, we have a bunch of channel subscribers and members in common. And I just love that. I love that I can pop in and see my channel members and subscribers on your streams and vice versa. So it's so fun.
Yeah, no, I love the kind of symbiotic kind of nature of the channels, and similarly with all the creators who are kind of in this kind of community. I love that we kind of support each other and share the same groups and communities. It's awesome. It's the best.
Maximilian Tucker, a very good friend of mine, says DMB is my hope for the world. So
as well, we
all. Yeah, everyone should look up to displaying model behavior. You should all be, well, not on this stream. We're displaying rowdy behavior on this stream. But after the stream is over, you should all be displaying model behavior at all times. Because that's what we need in the world. We need more people like Dave. Because Dave just takes that glass half full or glass half empty and pours a little bit in and makes it a glass half full, which is, I really like that about you. Even if it's, all right, so back to the questions. There's a lot of stuff coming out this year still, but is there anything that's been teased that you're looking forward to? Like you cannot wait.
Yeah, as far as things that have been teased, if you had asked me this time last week, I would have said, well, the Capcom wave, because that was the last thing that was kind of outstanding from all of the leaks that I had. And it was also the least believable. You know, everything else that I had leaked was like, oh yeah, that all kind of makes sense. But then for me to come out a year ago and go, oh yeah, there's going to be a Marvel versus Capcom themed wave. It's
Never doubt, Dave. Never.
It's like, oh, okay, Grandpa, let's get you to bed now, shall we? So the fact that did happen, and you know, huge shout out and thank you to the people who gave me that information, because again, like I take credit for breaking the news, but I didn't do anything to get that information. It's not like I was sneaking in there and discovering this for myself. No, just nice people went, hey Dave, do you want to talk about this? I was like, bet your ass I do. So yeah, so having that come out was just absolutely phenomenal. I was giddy with that. So now there's nothing else that's been hinted that I'm except for maybe cardiac. If we get a little cardiac action, then I'll be cardiac. Yeah. That would be he's a big 90s staple for me. Besides him, this hasn't even been hinted at yet, but I'm just kind of manifesting it already because I'm a greedy little piggy. I want wave 2 of Marvel versus Capcom now. I want everything. I'm not here for a percentage. I'm here for everything.
It was a good stream, and there's some stuff I'm mad about. I guess we can talk about that because I had another part to that question, but that which was if you got anything recently. But if you got anything recently, we'd probably see a review on it pretty soon. So I don't want to spoil anything. But we can talk about that stream really quick because I know you already talked about it and I already talked about it, but we didn't talk about it together. So what did you really like about it, and what did you really dislike about it? Like,
well, first of all, just what I liked the most about it was just by its very nature what it is. It's a Marvel versus Capcom wave of figures. It's 90s nostalgia, and I'm the number one type of person that's going to appeal to, which is a blessing and a curse, because it also means that you're going to be able to be lazy if you want to be, and I will still be there like a trained seal, like oh, it's Capcom. Like I'm the problem. I'll be the first person to admit it. Like I was very, very happy, but the whole stream was the best and worst of Marvel Legends. It was the blurst of Marvel Legends because it was like the brand new Juggernaut, just stunning, 100% brand new sculpt, much wanted character. They used their whole ass with it. It was just phenomenal. So that is the best of Marvel Legends until we get the price. You know, we don't know. It might be the worst of Marvel Legends if they come out and it's like triple digits or something. It won't be that much, and I'm not trying to suggest it should be.
I hope not.
But, yeah, they could ruin this nice thing, you know. So we don't know.
I'm thinking that most of them are going to hit 57, 58 because, you know, they've been 54.99. So with maybe closer to 60, maybe 59.
I'm guessing the 2-packs are absolutely going to be 60. I think the 2-packs are definitely going to be 60. And then Juggernaut, again, I think should be 60, but you just don't know. You know, you just don't know.
How about that? What do you think that's going to be? I think 80.
Well, that's the funny thing though, because it's not a direct to market thing. So it's not like the Sentinel that they made. So it's going to be hitting stores. And the thing is, it's such a unique kind of figure. The fan base for it isn't going to be that big, so they don't want to price themselves out of the market.
Everyone that I've shown that has been like, whoa, and they don't even know what Shumagoroth is, which is Gigantos for Marvel because they can't use Shumagoroth. So but everyone's like, what is that? I want it, you know? So I don't know. Marvel may undermake this and be like, dang, we missed out on an opportunity here because
it's real tough to call. But hey, if they underproduce it, they can always re-release it in pink. So, you know, they're going to be making ends meet. You know, they're not going to be skipping any dinners. They're going to be doing fine.
Oh, this is Hasbro. Of course not. Of course not. They love reuse. And speaking of reuse, so here's my main problem with that wave. With that release. So that Venom has been released 3 times. They had the first one with the Life Foundation pack without the upper ball peg in the torso, which was just the ab crunch. They added that, still had pins for the Venom that I'm giving away. Then they released Warpath once again on that updated Venom body. And now they're releasing Omega Red and Venom again on that body with the pins in 2025. And then they're packing that Venom with a Captain America with butterfly joints. And that infuriates me.
Yeah, and you have the right to be infuriated, and again, it wouldn't be so bad. Like the one thing that always irritates me about Hasbro is they remind me very much of the WWE, because I'm a big pro wrestling fan as well, obviously, and to be honest, it's probably it's just corporations. It's not WWE and Hasbro, it's corporations, but it's the hypocrisy of it.
Yeah.
It's saying one thing to justify something and then doing the other. It's like, oh, Maximum Spider-Man costs this much because he's brand new sculpt and articulation, and then it's like, well, this figure costs the same amount and you've literally just repainted it. So yeah, how does that work? It's the same. It's the same argument of like, oh well, we have to charge full price for Spider-Ham because the cost of the builder figure is factored into the wave.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you've removed the builder figure, and the wave still costs the same. So
$24.99 for Fantastic Four, no build-a-figure piece.
As the young people, as the young people say, make it make sense. But
yeah,
it doesn't.
and it never will. It never will.
Well, it does make sense because profits.
Tooling and profits.
I know it's a difficult thing because, of course, the representatives of the company cannot come out and say, yes, we're just trying to bleed you for all the money we can do. Like you can't. You can't.
We know it's true.
It would be refreshing if they did, but I understand. That's why you will never. And you can go back 5 years of model behavior. You'll never hear me say a bad word against the Hasbro guys, because they're doing their job. And guess what?
Yeah.
I'm not like some moral savior. If I could have that job, yes, please. I'll take it. That's an amazing job. So like, yeah, no shade at all. Because of course you're going to come out and say, yeah, our shareholders, we need to increase our profits and lower our costs. So we're going to pass that on to you.
It would never. That'd be a boring stream too, Be the most boring stream you ever saw.
But the first one would be quite interesting. I'd be like, am I dreaming? Hang on a second. But yeah, so it is what it is. The only thing that I would forgive that, and you've heard me say this before, if it wasn't for the fact that Hasbro tell us it's where the fans come first. And it's like, don't gaslight me. Don't insult my intelligence. That's the big thing.
They canceled my Maximum Spider-Man order, 2 of them. So no, they're lying. They're lying.
No, Riley, it's where the fans come first.
All right, sorry. It says it, so it has to be true. I forgot. This is the internet.
That's it. Yes. You heard it here first.
Oh, and speaking of like things that are infuriating, Psylocke here in America is a Target exclusive with that Thanos. So we got to deal with that extra layer for getting Psylocke. And they knew people wanted Psylocke the most out of all of this stuff.
Yeah, well, you know what? You all wanted your independence. You threw your tea into the river, and now you got Target exclusives. So
blaming George Washington, are you?
I said people blame politics. I'm doing the same. I'm just going way back.
All the way to the start. To the Boston Tea Party.
If you were ruled over by King Charles right now, then you could just order these online like the rest of us Brits. But no, you got to go toy hunting.
God, what a world we live in. Oh, goodness. This has been so much fun. Yeah, this stream is very dope, Stone Capybara. And that's mostly thanks to Dave, but also thanks to y'all for showing up and making this chat pop, because it's been a lot of fun. I don't want to hold Dave too long. We did get through all our questions. We did talk about the Marvel stream. I think we hit all the notes that we wanted to hit here.
We did. I'll tell you what, those notes sounded beautiful as well.
Let me put your plug up here. Where is it? Displaying model behavior on YouTube and Instagram, right? That's the tag for both. You can find him there.
That's the guy.
We all already know that, but yeah, I appreciate Dave coming on.
Mom, you can come in, please.
Oh, okay. We got displaying mom behavior.
I have my hat on the door. You can come in. I am live streaming, just so you know, but it's okay. It's supper time now. Yeah. I gotta go. It's dinner time.
Yeah, it's perfect timing because we're wrapping up. Look, we even got a cameo from displaying mom behavior, which is awesome. So, hi.
All right, that's mama behavior over there.
Mom unmodeling behavior.
I'm mothering, displaying mothering behavior.
I'll never.
Oh, get out of here.
The chat is popping for mom. Totally popping for mom.
Yeah.
And we got another super chat from Ninja.
Speedzilla.
Really quick, we will feed Zilla before Dave goes to have dinner.
For you, brother, we're gonna feed Zilla. All right, this is for you, man. I think. Oh wow, I got an old Japanese coin there, 500 yen. That's actually a lot of money. It's about $5 right there.
Godzilla's eating good tonight.
No. There you go. One more.
We need music and Cincy John right now.
I know. There's no sign of it.
He didn't show up. Usually he shows up. He didn't show up next time. Oh, if there's going to be a next time, we will? Okay.
In the words of War Machine, next time, baby.
All right. Well, next time I'm coming on your channel, so I get all the clout, you know?
All right. Let's do it.
All right. It's on. All right. Thank you so much, Dave, for coming. We're going to let you go eat dinner. Thank you, chat, for showing up. I love you. I will see you next time. And as always, keep displaying model behavior.
Far 2 D2 guys.
Thank you, Magic Trash Can.
What's up, dog?
I'm a computer.
What?
Ah! Why do you awaken me without skin? No.
Oh, it. Enjoy. It's like God's vagina.
Oh.
Pork chop sandwiches. Oh shit! Get the fuck out of here! What are you doing? Go! Get the fuck out of here, you stupid idiot! Fuck, we're all dead! Get the fuck out!
What the fuck? What the fuck? You're relieved you don't have to go to work because you thought you were gonna get eaten? What the fuck is this world? What have they done to us? What did they do to us? Too much fucking shit on me, I can't breathe. Why? $1 million. 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 fries, 55 Coke, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 steaks, 55 pancakes, 55 pasta, 55 peppers, and 155 taters.